Welcome back, everybody, and thank you for bearing with us on that. I'm very, very pleased to introduce our next guest. Very privileged to have him join us. And it's Ian Haworth, who's the Executive Creative Director for UK and EMEA for Wonderman. And I don't know if you know who they are, but that's the biggest digital arm of WPP, the world's biggest advertising agency. And he's going to tell us about how the world's best brands use social and digital. Hands together for Ian Haworth.
Hi, how you doing? Let me just start. I'm just going to quickly run through a few themes about that, and then I'm going to show loads of films of actually in practice. So this is less theory, a lot more practice. Life is beautiful. I think it's currently the best time ever to be in the marketing and advertising industry because the toy box we have to play with is so big that there is nothing you can't think up that you can actually achieve nowadays. And so, oh, click, there we go. Yes, it's working. And in that, you know, digital, social, and content, there are so many tools you can use that, and the integration of all of those, the possibilities are absolutely endless. However, the one thing I want to talk about, quickly skim over, is avoid the trap of complexity. It's very easy to get wound up in the theory and thinking of the technology, but just try and keep it simple and think of the idea is the key thing I want you to think about there. And equally, oops, is this clicking? There we go. And now I'm going to go into some themes. Key things, living culture. I think brands that actually play a part in culture and live within culture will gain a lot of traction, particularly in the social and content world we're talking about. Entertain me. Think of it, often it's entertainment. Selling, sometimes via social, it loses so much authenticity. Entertainment is very key, whatever that form of entertainment is. Emotional value. Digital, social, and content has incredible emotional power to connect emotionally. And some of the examples I'll show you do just exactly that. By emotion, it can be pathos, it can be humor, anything, but it can touch the heart in many different ways. And don't underestimate that. Equally, authenticity. You have a tremendous opportunity to be truly authentic. And particularly in the industry you're in, authenticity is key. Like many industries we work with, the spin factor has been overdone. So authentic cuts a chase, and using community is really important here. And also ideas with a long tail. By that, and you'll see some here, a simple, strong idea, but it can explode in many different channels and many different ways. And that's really key. Again, don't think of it as often just a one tactic. A couple of things I may show you are slightly tactical. Others are an incredibly big thought, but it's incredibly simple and they start small. And without further ado, so you can tell there's not a lot of theory. I could have espoused on about that for ages, but I'd rather just show some work. So I'm going to skim through some films, and I'm conscious that we've all run over and time is tight, so I'll be as quick as I can. The first film I'm going to show is Metro Trains. So none of the clients I'm going to show you now are in the travel industry. But what I want, think of the themes I've just talked about. A lot of these really will connect and are truisms within your industry. And I often found it, you get your best inspiration from things that sometimes are not necessarily in your ballpark. So Metro Trains, this is where a simple, entertaining idea about rail safety became one of the biggest shared videos globally within about 5 months. So I'll share it and then you can see. And it's all started with a simple social video.
Young people don't listen to public safety messages. So how do you get them to stop being unsafe around trains? By making it the dumbest way to die.
Dumb ways to die. So many dumb ways to die. Dumb ways to die. So many dumb ways to die.
A song was written called Dumb Ways to Die. It was released as a YouTube video and within a week had over 20 million views and coverage on every television network in the country. A dedicated Tumblr site generated huge and immediate viral effect. Within days, Dumb Ways to Die became the world's most shared video. The song was released on iTunes and climbed the charts in over 20 countries, making its way onto playlists everywhere. Radio advertising was purchased, but this song about rail safety was so popular, radio stations played it for free. Awareness went through the roof, but we had to get people to change their behaviour. So every element of the campaign directly drove people to pledge to be safe around trains. Nearly 1 million people took the pledge on our website. The little book of Dumb Ways to Die asked kids to take the pledge. Outdoor advertising got people to promise to be safe and generated Instagram-friendly content. A smartphone game also got people to make the promise. And at train stations, a karaoke version of the song played while posters visually reinforced the message. The results? People adopted the rail safety message like never before. Over 200 cover versions were made. Schools started using it as a teaching tool in classrooms. Dumb Ways to Die became the most shared public service campaign in history. And most important of all, the Metro has seen a 21% reduction in accidents and deaths compared to the same time last year.
Be safe around trains, a message from Metro.
And again there, I think that taps every one of those points. But often a topic that's driven by fear, spin it and turn it into entertainment. That was from one small social idea which was thoroughly entertaining, and look at the results. So again, really worth showing. I'm going to skip the next campaign in sense of time. I'm going to skip this one, lads, and go to the Apple one. Right, Apple. I want to share this one. This is a really interesting one. iPhone 6. Apple have done a phenomenal job here, where this is a social platform out, and it's community, the community work out, and then gone into every other channel. But when you look at the scale of this, and this one in particular, I think the beauty of what that product can do, this is an ultimate product demonstration driven by a social platform.
Apple billboards just changed. They're no longer ads, well, not traditional ads. They're photos, all taken with the iPhone 6.
Amateur to world fame, all thanks to a cell phone picture.
How cool is it to see your photo on a billboard?
I have a big billboard, the largest billboard in Singapore.
One of my goals is to go to one of my billboards. I think there's one in New York.
Again, a phenomenal piece there where you've got culture, social content, product demonstration, and the only manipulation was the border around the pictures. That was the public's content. That's not advertising per se. Phenomenal case study. And again, just shows you the power of authenticity. They have real pictures. They weren't professional photographers. That was just you and I. And for someone who's obsessed with Instagram like me, you know, that was fantastic. Next one is Sport England, where this is a completely different thing, where this is about true real life and content. This is more about a rock and a ripple, a core thought that spread through genuine content. And the authenticity here was paramount. Otherwise, this would be trite, and it worked tremendously well. And again, authenticity of content is at the core of this particular idea. Oh, sorry, no, Virgin Media, we'll stick with this one. Sorry, I've gone down my list the wrong way. Virgin Media, this is living in culture. A lovely brand we all know, Virgin Media. This is Newsroom. This is rapid content produced on an hourly, daily basis where memes, news stories, you take an idea and it's produced within, well, hours at times, couple of hours. And this is highly entertaining. And this is a completely opposite end to the campaign you've just seen before, which had a lot of money behind it. This one has very little money behind it, but a lot of cultural insight.
Smelly cat, what are they feeding you? Smelly cat, it's not your fault.
It's a yes from me.
I'm saying yes.
Yes.
I'm going to say 4 yeses.
Scottish pair in this mixed doubles sand breaking, and they're off. There he goes. Bill Fairfax, such an experienced competitor. Oh, that's a lovely deep backstroke and a lovely forward push there. Another forward push there. Linda McBride with her inverted head technique. Oh, and a beautiful twist. Look at that. They've already done it.
That's a simple, cheap way to explode a brand's personality of open-minded, fun and generous into moving the brand metric a long way without a lot of money, but living in culture. And for those of you not from the UK, that's probably not as relevant because that was very UK culturally driven. Next piece is Volvo. This is a phenomenal piece where everybody else's advertising spend, Volvo hijacked by using social media. And it is so cheeky, but so clever on a massive scale. Super Bowl, the ad spend in Super Bowl is millions. And this is how social was used to hijack everyone else's advertising spend.
On Super Bowl Sunday, the US is big, loud, and expensive. Sweden is Swedish. So how does Volvo compete with the other car brands and their millions spent on commercials during the game? We don't. We steal it.
When you see a car commercial during the game, any car commercial, not Volvo, you can tweet using the hashtag Volvo contest.
The interception was simple. Their commercials would give you a chance to win one of our cars for someone you love. Just tweet their name to Volvo during any car commercial. When Mercedes wanted you to look here, people immediately went here. When Lexus spent 4.5 million for this, Twitter looked like this. Shifting the social conversation to Volvo. With up to 2,000 tweets per minute every time their commercials aired, we changed the Super Bowl conversation from one loud 30-second roar to an ongoing conversation about Volvo that lasted the entire game. We were the only car company to trend both nationally and globally.
So they weren't advertising on TV, they were letting all the other car companies do that for them?
And just like that, their millions of dollars worth of car commercials turned into a social conversation about Volvo, helping our XC60 to a 70% sales increase the month following the game, the highest in its segment.
Again there, like the other one, incredibly simple, smart use of social and the environment going on around you. The TV, those in the US Super Bowl is a cultural phenomenon for TV advertising. It's what everyone talks about, the social, the Super Bowl ads. Here, Volvo were just neat and just nicked everyone else's noise, which was phenomenal. I'm going to go on to Sport England. This was the one I started to talk about earlier, which is, this is really about real-life authenticity on a topic that is quite sensitive. And it just shows you that if you get the content right and the accessibility of it right, how powerful you can be.
2 million fewer women are playing sport regularly. That's compared to men. Despite this, 75% of 14 to 40-year-old women say they want to be more active. So, what is putting them off?
Well, lots of things actually. All with one common theme: the fear of being judged. And instead of inspiring women, the idealised bodies and athleticism in sports advertising were just fueling the fear. I mean, come on, who looks like that in real life? So how could Sport England redress the gender gap and inspire women to give judgment the finger and give exercise another go? By street casting women the big sports brands wouldn't. By celebrating cellulite, jiggling the jiggly bits and soaking the screen with sweat. Poster sites featured the women in all their unphotoshopped glory. Seeded content told real stories of the personal barriers they'd overcome. It's fair to say word got out.
This campaign is genius. That is so empowering.
It's called This Girl Can. And the message is, if this girl can, anyone can.
My reaction was finally something that empowers everyone.
And the best part was, women everywhere were inspired to put their fears behind them and become girls who can.
And it's just a really fun, amazing, uplifting advert that really gets me going in the morning.
I'm knackered.
Again, what made that campaign so strong? One, the simplicity idea, the authenticity of it, but it was the community around it. That went viral because, again, the ad spend was pretty tiny. This was a government body. They don't spend a lot of money. The ad spend really, really small. I'm going to share with you one more case study. I'll go on, lads, to Starhub. We'll click on from that one. We move on past the sun. We move on past that to Starhub. This is this last one, and then I'll go through a few slides, and then I'm done because I realise I've cut it really short. Starhub, this is a really interesting one of using your own customer community. All of our brands have customer communities. This is how you can use your customer community, get them engaged in something of a purpose beyond your brand. So purpose for good, for humanity. And the platform is a simple digital mobile platform, which we all have. And it is about utility, purpose, and your own customer community.
Third eye. Viewfinder image. Double tap to take a picture. Uploading. Awaiting reply.
Gets in his car and drives away far from all things that we are. Puts on a smile and breathes it in and breathes it out. He says bye, bye, bye all of us.
I see a small stream in the foreground. Shake the next reply. To your left, I see red tulips blooming. There's a group of runners stretching and warming up. Uploading. Uploading. The oranges are from Australia and they look very fresh. I see a great buy. You should get them.
Don't be afraid, just eat up all.
Uploading. Awaiting reply.
It will fade away. Don't let yourself fall down.
Phenomenal there. But again, thinking customer community, that technology, commenting on photography, you could do that in any industry. And I've quickly rush through 5. We'll go over this one. And then just to sum up. No, over this one. Yeah. Right. 5 key points. 1, strength of the idea. 2, make it compelling, the emotional side of it. Keep it really compelling. Authenticity, absolutely fundamental to what you're doing. Simplicity, everything I shared today, at the heart of it is one simple idea. And living culture. They're the key things to keeping it successful. I'm sorry this has been a whistle stop and I've cut it in half, but I hope you got a gist of what I was saying anyway. And thank you very much. Thank you. Yeah, of course.
Just wanted to say thank you very much for Ian there and for his understanding in cutting it short. I know it's the rudest thing that we could possibly do, but thank you for that. Thank you for sharing those excellent insights. I'm sure Ian, if he's available, maybe outside, if you can answer some questions outside of that. I'm sure there are some people who've got some ideas they want to ask him. Thank you so much for that. Some amazing campaigns in there, really inspiring, and hopefully that's given you some great ideas. So thank you very much, and please stay on for the next session. Thank you.